Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Let's go ahead and talk about the latest DC animated feature film, Justice League WarWorld. Now, this film was definitely not what I expected. Now, yes, I love me some DC animated feature films. I'm a big fan. I have them all. Gotta collect them all. This one, though, visually, it goes back and forth for me. Some of the animation looks pretty crisp, especially for something that's on 4K. Looks pretty good, looks pretty clear, everything flows nicely. But there are some shots that seem just a little bit off in this one. But overall, I mean, with all the, the little bit off, on and off animation here and there, let's talk about the film itself. Now, the film, for the most part itself, basically is Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman. But this was definitely not what I expected. It starts off right off the bat. It takes place like in the old West with Wonder Woman, and she's going into this town. Jonah Hex is there. He's the villain, so it's kind of like her against Jonah Hex for a little bit. So that just seems a little weird. Like, what is going on? Like, I'm not. I want to say this is based on. I mean, let me know in the comments below. I want to say this is based on maybe on a graphic novel, but it's definitely something I was not expecting. Justice League, I'm figuring it's going to be just full-on Justice League action. So it's a little bit different. Well, that story, because essentially you almost have like three different stories that are leading up to the main, the end to this thing. And it goes from what's happening with Wonder Woman and transitions over to like almost a primal age, basically, with Batman. He's almost like a Conan the Barbarian, almost, and he's not the nicest guy in the world, and he's helping this other village of people, basically. This guy who's like a king almost. These villagers they're trying to go and take out the big baddie, basically, for this particular story of the film. There's a little bit of trust issues going on between Batman and this king. Things maybe not exactly what you expect them to be in this particular story. That wraps up, and now we're moving on to what I think is the best of the three, and that is involving Agent Kent. Not a news reporter, news writer Clark Kent. No, Agent Kent, and possible alien sighting. So that kind of leads. That's an interesting story because that's it's all black and white. All the visuals, all the animation is all black and white. We also do have Bruce Wayne involved in this story. We do have Diana involved in this, Wonder Woman involved in this story, and that all kind of leads up to, you kind of find out what is going on. There is something definitely going on in this story. Like, they don't know who they are when they're meeting each other for the first time. Like, I kind of remember you. You look familiar. Your name sounds familiar. Something's definitely not exactly everything seems what it is on screen. And I'm assuming that this is basically the setup for, I think it's going to be a continuation, because the way this thing ends off, there's definitely going to be another part to this film. Whether it's a WarWorld 2, I don't know. But there's definitely going to be another part of this, because it does lead off to that. Like I said, this thing's about an hour and a half, this film. It's not, and I would say that it's not my favorite of the DC animated films. It definitely picked up as the film went on. Once it got to the black and white part of the sequence, the story for the film involving Clark Kent, and everybody else got involved, then it started to pick up more, and I was starting to understand a little bit more what they were trying to do, what they were going with this one. But the other was a little bit confusing. It wasn't bad, but it was a little bit confusing in those beginning, those first two stories that are being told. The part in the beginning with the whole Wild West with Wonder Woman and against Jonah Hex and his crew, that was fine. I had no problem with that. That was done pretty well, animation style. I think where my problem with the animation kind of came up was the whole part with like the barbarian like Batman, like Bruce Wayne. That just seemed there were just seem some shots that just seemed way off. The animation did not seem as good as it should have been, in my opinion, for something on 4K, and especially something done now, knowing how DC animation can be done and done well. Yeah, so I think this one was definitely a little bit off. Like I said, not terrible. Start off a little bit slow, picked up at the end, but I'm definitely going to be interested to see exactly where they're going to go with this one. Like I said, if I paid full price, most of the time these feature films, these DC animated feature films, whether it be Blu-ray or 4K, do drop in price pretty quickly. I would definitely hold off though, on this one. I wouldn't go and pay unless you like me and you've got to have every single one when they come out right away. I'd probably hold off on this one. See if the price drops a little because it's not going to be for everybody. This one, it definitely has more like an Elseworlds type story to it, and I'm interested to see where they're going to go with it now that I kind of understand the story a little bit more. I just wish it had been a little bit more clear in the beginning of this one exactly what what it was. The cover kind of is a little bit misleading in certain areas of this film. But yeah, definitely, I don't think it's it's not like I said it's not my favorite of the DC animated films. But like if you're diehard like me, you gotta have them when they first come out. If not, you can definitely hold off. There's other ones that you could definitely pick up that are a lot better. I think in my opinion, they're a lot cheaper also. But this one, wait for the price to drop in this one and check this one out. Especially give this one time. 'Cause like I said, there's going to be a follow up for this film. Maybe wait till that one comes out and have a little bit of a double feature. So like, subscribe, and comment to the chance, and I will catch you in another episode. Take care.